I do. Yeah, I do. I have sort of a nebulous sense of home. I can't really pinpoint where my home is exactly, but Wisconsin really feels like home, and northern Wisconsin especially feels like home to me. As an astrobiologist, I've been interested in life on other planets since I was a baby. I mean, since I was just a baby astronomer. And that led in a direction where I really have needed to know a lot about life, or think a lot about life on Earth, because Earth is the only inhabited planet that we're aware of at this time. And really the only truly habitable planet for life as we know it as well, despite all the announcements in the media. It's really, we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. So I did, for a big chunk of my dissertation, I just studied the Earth. I looked at, in fact, right now, the moon is a thin sliver tonight, and last night it's 5 or 6 days old. And after sunset, right now, if you look at the moon, you'll see that you can actually make out the dark part of the moon because the Earth is shining on it. And so by studying that light from the Earth, I can see what the Earth looks like from outer space as a whole picture planet. You don't see, in that light, in the spectrum of that light, you don't spatially resolve anything. It's all of the light of the Earth shining on every part of the moon. That whole concept of a living planet and how you characterize what is a habitable planet versus not a habitable planet, these are big questions that I think are going to be, it's going to be a long time before scientists or really anybody completely has their mind wrapped around what that means. Water is definitely part of it. We have rivers and lakes here, and that is different from anywhere else that I've lived. And so having both rivers and lakes here, and therefore fishing and swimming and paddling. I mean, I've had a project of paddling the whole Wisconsin River for the last few summers, and this past fall, by the end of the year, I made it down to Tomahawk. And paddling that river from the source down, where the river is literally this wide, going through a culvert, to, all the way down to the Mississippi. I mean, even so far, I'm only 100 miles in, but it has taken me 3 summers to get that far, and I still have like 300 miles to go, I guess. But I've learned so much about the state by doing that, because you're watching the whole landscape change, as well as the seasons changing, and the people that you meet at every stop are different people. And so the river to me represents definitely a cultural experience as well, kind of a journey. So there's water, and then the trees as well, and the forests here, and I guess the concept of shade is important to me. People don't think about that, but the reason I bought this house was because of the 2 maples in front and wanting that shade on the house, and the maple here on the south side too, just wanting that summertime shade. And then the fact that they were all sugar maples. So tapping the trees and that is such a cultural event, just a community event every spring, and something that is economically valuable, as well as just providing for ourselves directly off the land with our own resources and not having to ship things in from places that we're not familiar with. The other valuable thing that I noted before coming here that was really attractive to me was the soil, being on Antigo silt loam. And I studied soil maps of Wisconsin, and I was just like, this is like the best soil in the whole universe. You can grow a lot of stuff on this soil. And being in the city of Antigo is built right on it. Right. So we have really good soil for backyard farming. And that was a big part of it. I have a lot of interest in different in knowing and connecting more with other communities like the Native American communities around Wisconsin. I mean, that's another aspect of the state that I'm really attracted to and interested in and glad that we have. And although there are a lot of problems with that, it's that's a part of our cultural heritage that I would very much like to see not be lost. And how to translate that native knowledge into, just that ancient knowledge into what I mean, and actually convey it to the rest of the people who live here in a way that shows how important and valuable that very long-standing experience with the land is. I don't know how to do that, and it probably has to come from within the Native American communities themselves. But that would be another aspect of where we live that I think is important and of potentially of very great value to us. We're not weak, we're strong, and we're strong together as a community as well as individually, and that people really do have individual strengths. Like every single person has something really good that they can contribute, and in a way that's like earning your keep in the world, and and just the sense of like untapped potential that we can all do more than what we're doing as far as just contributing to a strong and really deeply fulfilling, personally fulfilling, emotionally, spiritually fulfilling kind of world, locally as well as globally. But I just have a resistance, I guess, to this feeling of like increased sort of isolation, or that people are not connected as much or don't know their neighbors. And I don't like that, not just because it's a weakness. It weakens the fabric of the community and makes us more vulnerable to disturbances that might occur, but it also is less enjoyable as, just to live on Earth in that kind of situation.